111 111 111. What the hell does that mean? Well, if you know, you know, right? Anyways, hello everybody. It's 12:30. That means that you and I have an appointment. It's time to discuss it with Drake. That will be moi. And today's quick topic is, what are the property requirements for an FHA loan? Did you catch it last week? No, you didn't. Actually, there were some technical difficulties that I could not overcome. So you didn't miss me next week. I actually wasn't here. So anyways, before we get started, remember that if you ever miss an episode, all you have to do is go over to YouTube and type in Drake's Real Estate TV, hit subscribe, and you will see it, all right? And if you stop by, like you, Kimberly, please say hello in the comments. And I have a question for you. If I drink like this, is that considered product placement? Clever, right? Anyways, yeah, I should have an episode on Homes for Heroes. I think I'll do that really, really soon. Anyways, let's get started. Popular among first-time home buyers, but available to other consumers, are home loans backed by the Federal Housing Administration, otherwise known as the FHA. So FHA loans are mortgages insured by the FHA and subsequently issued by an approved lender. These loans are geared towards the low to moderate income borrowers. So an FHA loan requires a significantly lower down payment than a traditional mortgage, and it comes with a lower credit score requirements. In 2020, you actually were able to borrow up to 96.5% of the value of the home with one of these loans, and you only need a credit score of like about 580. So yeah. So if you're financing a home purchase with FHA, you might not be able to buy a particular property if it doesn't really meet the requirements. So the FHA has minimum property standards as a way to protect the lenders, right? So why minimum property standards? Well, if you're getting a mortgage as a home buyer, the property itself is actually your loan collateral, right? Because you're actually only assuming 3.5% of the risk. The bank is taking on the 96.5. So there you go. If you stop making your payments, the lender is actually going to foreclose on it, eventually taking possession. And then the lender sells the house to try and recoup as much money as is what's owned from the loan as they can. Excuse me. When a property is required to meet specific standards, the lender has a higher level of protection. The idea here is that it should be easier to sell and get more money if the home meets said standards. So there's also a protective element if you're the borrower. For example, you're less likely to face unexpected repair expenses right away, correct? Okay, good. So let's talk about FHA home appraisals. If you want an FHA-backed mortgage, then the house you're trying to buy must have an appraisal meeting specific standards. A home appraisal is an estimate of the property's market value performed by a neutral third party. Most mortgages require an appraisal, and the market value assesses the loan-to-value ratio of the mortgage. So an FHA appraisal requires two steps. The first is a site visit, where an FHA appraiser will visit the home personally, take photos and notes and measurements. And the second step actually requires the appraiser to do market research to look at comparable homes that are recently sold in the area. From there, they can estimate a value. Let's talk about minimum property standards. So according to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, when the FHA finances its loan products, there have to be three general standards met. The first is safety. The property should maintain the safety and health of the occupants. Well, that kind of makes sense, right? Of course it does. The second is security, and the third is soundness. That means that the property shouldn't have any conditions or deficiencies impacting the structural integrity. If you're going to buy a single-family detached home, the appraiser uses what's called a uniform residential appraisal report. The form goes into the basic elements of the house, such as the year it was built, the square footage. On the form, the appraiser actually has to describe the property's condition, including any repairs that may be needed or adverse conditions that could impact livability or structural integrity. If you're planning to buy a condo, the form is similar, but there are questions specific to the property type, like the number of owner-occupied units and common areas. If problems are minor or cosmetic, they don't need to be repaired, according to the FHA. Examples of what's considered minor include maybe missing handrails, minor plumbing leaks, maybe worn out countertops. Well, as far as health and safety hazards, this is the last part we're going to go into. Some of the things that do need to repair that do need to be repaired for the sale to close is electrical issues, like exposed or frayed wires. Roofing is not expected to last for another 2 years, and that you can really usually visually see. Water heaters that don't meet local building codes. Excessive noise, that's an interesting one. Construction dampness, water is not your friend here. Termite damage and asbestos. So if you're a homeowner and you have your heart set on a home with potential problems, you have options. For example, you could ask for the seller to make the repairs. If they can't, maybe as a buyer, you request a lower price to make up for it. If the seller is a bank, they're likely not to make repairs, so you're probably going to have to find another property or get approval for a different loan product. So anyways, that's a snapshot of FHA. Anyways, thanks for showing up today. I hope you found that information useful. I hope you come back next week when I'll share more information. And I want to give a shout out to Realty Times for providing that information for me today. And as always, please don't keep me secret. Share this with everyone you know. And if there's a topic that you'd like me to go over in the future, just let me know and I'll get it on the calendar. I hope that you right there, have a fantastic week. And don't forget to live, laugh, and love. And until next week, when the next move matters, contact Drake for Homes. All right, talk to you guys later. See ya.